You expect me to believe this is real? Get out of the vehicle now!
Imagine a police officer walking up to your window already convinced you're a criminal before you even speak. Imagine his hand gripping his gun, his voice dripping with bias, his eyes scanning your skin instead of your plates. And now imagine that same officer losing everything, because on that roadside in Ridgewood Heights, he tried the wrong man, and the whole neighborhood caught him on camera. Before we continue, welcome to Voices Unchained. Hit like, subscribe, and drop where you're watching from. These stories travel farther than the people who try to silence them. Meet Marcus Hale, a 15-year veteran of the U.S. Marshal Service, but you'd never know by looking at him. He didn't dress flashy, didn't flash his badge unless necessary. He carried himself the way real professionals do, calm, disciplined, quiet. Marcus grew up in neighborhoods where the police treated boys who looked like him like threats. That's partly why he became a marshal, to be the difference he wished he'd had. A protector, a professional, a man who believed in the law because he stood for it. And on that Wednesday afternoon, in a peaceful neighborhood he was monitoring for a fugitive lead, Marcus was just another black man behind the wheel, at least in the eyes of the wrong officer. Officer Brent Carver. 14 complaints, 12 involving black drivers, a reputation that followed him like the stench of arrogance. Carver wasn't just biased, he was comfortable being biased. He hid behind his badge, weaponized his authority, and believed he owned the streets of Ridgewood Heights. When he saw Marcus's black sedan roll through Crestfield Lane, his instinct wasn't to observe, it was to hunt. His knuckles tightened on the steering wheel, his eyes narrowed. He didn't see a federal agent, he saw a threat, a black man who, in his mind, must be up to something. Carver followed Marcus for blocks, waiting for any excuse. One tire brushed a white line. That was all he needed. The lights flashed. The siren wailed. Marcus eased to the curb, hands high on the wheel. Carver strutted toward the vehicle with the swagger of someone who believed the badge made him superior. "Roll the window down," he barked, hand resting aggressively on his gun. Marcus complied, voice calm. "Good afternoon, officer. I'm a U.S. Marshal. My credentials are in my jacket." Carver cut him off with a laugh. "Oh, you're a marshal? Right, and I'm the president. Step out of the car. Now." Marcus swallowed but nodded. He unbuckled slowly, narrating every movement, something men who look like him learn early. As Marcus stepped out, Carver moved closer, invading his space. "What brings you here?" he sneered. "This isn't exactly your type of neighborhood." The pause after "your" said more than the word itself. Marcus kept his voice steady. "I'm on federal duty. My ID." Carver suddenly grabbed Marcus's wrist, yanking it behind him. "You don't reach for anything unless I tell you," he growled. Marcus winced. "You asked me to step out. You need to let me." Carver shoved him chest first onto the trunk. His body slammed against the metal. Neighbors gasped. Phones came out. A woman whispered, "Oh my God, he didn't do anything." Carver pressed hard on Marcus's shoulder blade. "Where's the weapon? You people always got something hidden." Marcus clenched his jaw. "My sidearm is holstered. I'm a marshal. You can verify?" Carver twisted Marcus's arm harder. "Shut up. You're impersonating federal law enforcement. That's a felony." Marcus exhaled shakily. "Officer, you are making a mistake. My phone has my contact information. Let me—" Carver snatched Marcus's phone from his pocket and tossed it onto his patrol seat. "I'll hold on to that. Don't want you coordinating with any of your friends." The racism didn't need slurs. His tone carried centuries of them. More neighbors gathered, more recordings. Carver called in backup, lying. "Dispatch. I've got an aggressive male refusing to cooperate. Claims to be a marshal. Send units." Marcus was stunned. He hadn't raised his voice once. Backup officers Tessa Marlowe and Daniel Briggs arrived. They immediately sensed something was off. Marcus was calm, pinned, compliant. Carver was sweating with rage. "Did you verify his ID?" Marlowe asked. Carver snapped, "I don't need his fake ID. He's lying." Marcus lifted his head slightly. "Officer Marlowe, my credentials are in my passenger seat jacket. Permission to reach?" Marlowe frowned. "Why didn't you let him identify?" Carver ignored her and stormed to the passenger door. "Quick question. If you saw this happening in your neighborhood, what would you do? Walk away or hit record so the truth couldn't be buried? If you stand against injustice, hit like, subscribe, let us know your thoughts in the comments." Carver flung open the passenger door and rifled through Marcus's jacket, and then he froze. The gold U.S. Marshal badge gleamed in his hand. Silence swallowed the street. Marlowe's eyes widened. Briggs stepped closer, jaw tightening. Carver muttered, "Well, looks legit." "Looks?" Marlowe shot back. "That's a federal credential." Carver's arrogance cracked. Sweat formed at his temple. He cleared his throat and, trying to salvage his power, said stiffly, "All right, you're free to go." Marcus turned slowly, eyes sharp. "No, I'm not leaving." Carver stiffened. "Excuse me?" Marcus extended his hand. "My phone." Carver hesitated. Marlowe glared. "Give him his damn phone, Brent." Carver retrieved it reluctantly. Marcus dialed with steady hands. "This is Deputy U.S. Marshal Marcus Hale requesting immediate federal response to my location," he said. "Officer has conducted an unlawful stop, unlawful search, physical assault, and seizure of federal property." Carver's face went pale. Within minutes, black SUVs rolled in. Not dramatic, just efficient, authoritative. Federal officers approached Carver. "Officer Carver, step forward." "What? This is ridiculous. I didn't do anything wrong." Marlowe folded her arms. Briggs looked away in disgust. Federal investigators began interrogating Carver right there on the pavement. Marcus stood nearby, speaking calmly to another agent, recounting every detail. And the neighbors? They moved closer, offering videos, photos, timestamps, statements. One teen held up her phone. "I recorded everything, from when he asked for his ID to when that cop slammed him." Federal agents collected the evidence. Carver's voice cracked as he tried defending himself. I mean, he looked." The lead investigator cut him off. "Officer, stop talking." Carver's shoulders dropped. The truth had caught him. Carver was placed in the back of a patrol vehicle, not his own. Word spread fast. The Ridgewood Heights Police Division tried to control the narrative, but the evidence was overwhelming. Body cams, bystander videos, Marcus's testimony, the illegal search, the physical assault. And then the deeper digging began. Federal investigators uncovered the truth. 12 complaints, 10 involving racial profiling, patterns ignored by his precinct, suspensions avoided due to favoritism, repeated misconduct buried under lack of evidence. But this time, everything was on camera. Carver was suspended, stripped of his badge, investigated for civil rights violations, falsifying reports, and assault on a federal officer. The chief released a statement, but it was too late. His face was everywhere. Community outrage grew. Protests formed outside the precinct. His own colleagues refused to defend him. And the worst blow, his career, built on fear and unchecked power, collapsed in days. At the end of it all, one truth stood tall. Prejudice collapses when exposed. Power means nothing when misused. And justice, when given a chance, does not stutter. Marcus Hale didn't raise his voice. He didn't fight back. He didn't let rage guide him. He let the truth, the law, and the cameras do the work. And because of that, an officer who abused his badge lost it forever. If this story hit you the way it hit us, tap like, drop your city in the comments, and subscribe to Voices as Unchained for more powerful stories that shine a light where others try to hide the darkness.